Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Let's take a look at some South Dakota history. For this story, we're traveling to the northeast corner of South Dakota, to a place where the deep, thickly forested ravines of the Prairie Coteau Hills plunge into darkness. The Dakota Sioux, who once used the surrounding area for hunting, refused to step foot in this particular valley. They gave it the name that has survived for centuries, Sica, which translates simply to evil or bad. Today, it is known as Sica Hollow State Park and remains one of the most supernaturally charged locations in the American Midwest. The Dakota people had good reason to fear Hollow. According to ancient legend, a stranger named Han once wandered into the peaceful camp seeking refuge from the bitter winter. The elders offered him shelter, but Han brought him a creeping madness. Over the long winter months, he slowly poisoned the minds of the young braves, turning them against their elders and teaching them to murder and steal. One morning, at Han's command, the young men rose up and slaughtered their own people. It is said that so much blood was spilled that it ran down the ravines and forever stained the rivers red. The survivors prayed to the Great Spirit for salvation. In response, the sky darkened and a messenger known as Thunderer descended upon the hollow. Thunderer unleashed a massive flood, trapping Han. As Han tried to flee, thick vines shot from the earth and wrapped around his ankles, holding him fast as the rushing waters filled his screaming mouth. Finally, Thunderer's talons descended and ripped out Han's eyes, ensuring he would never see the afterlife, casting him into eternal darkness. The legend of Sica Hollow might sound like just an ancient myth, but if you walk the park's famous Trail of Spirits today, the land itself seems to confirm the horrifying tale. Along the trail, you will find bogs that literally bubble with reddish water. While modern science tells us this is due to heavy iron and mineral deposits, the Dakota people believed it was the flesh and blood of the slaughtered ancestors still seeping from the earth. But the eerie sights don't stop there. As the sun sets, decaying tree stumps and swamp gas emit a strange natural glow in the dark, giving the forest an otherworldly phosphorescent light. If you listen closely to the small waterfalls, you can hear a distant echoing moan. Geologists explain this as trapped air escaping from underground caverns. But to those who know the legend, it is the eternal suffocating gasps of Han as the waters rise over him. The dread surrounding Sica Hollow continued well into the modern era. When the first white settler, a man named Robert Roy, built a cabin deep in the ravine in the 1840s, the local natives thought he was completely insane for living among the evil spirits. Fast forward to the 1970s, and the area was gripped by a new terror. Several people reportedly vanished within the dense, plummeting gullies. Search parties combed the woods, with many locals openly admitting they carried rifles, not for bears, but because they believed a massive Bigfoot-like beast was hunting in the hollow. It didn't help that the park is treacherous. Hidden springs have created patches of deadly quicksand, and the forested ravines could suddenly drop hundreds of vertical feet. To this day, Sica Hollow State Park remains beautifully rugged, but deeply unsettling. Those brave enough to camp overnight have reported the phantom sounds of tribal drums, distant chanting, and the echoing war whoops of ghostly braves echoing through the trees. So if you ever find yourself walking the Trail of Spirits at twilight and you see the water running red and hear the hollow gasps of air escaping from the earth, just remember the legend. Sica Hollow doesn't forget its past, and some say the evil that named the valley is still waiting in the dark.
I just wanna shine like the sun when it comes up. Run the city from the rooftops. It's a day, it's gonna be my day, it's gonna be my day,
Good night stress, see you in the morning. I don't gotta guess, you're always there for me.